Welcome back. It's time now for the Business Day. Ganja stakeholders are responding this evening to the Safe Banking Bill, which was approved by the U.S. House of Representatives. The bill prohibits regulators from penalizing banks or credit unions that do business with legitimate ganja operators. Andrew Laidley has details.
If you are a legitimate ganja operator, then you've probably discovered that no commercial bank or credit union will allow you to open a business account with their institution. That's because financial institutions fear de-risking from their correspondent banks. It's a practice that has prevented ganja operators from being a part of the formal banking system. But with the U.S. House of Representatives passing a bill which prohibits penalties against ganja service providers and businesses, all that might change. President of the Ganja Growers and Producers Association of Jamaica, Richard Dickey Crawford, says Jamaica shouldn't waste any time in passing a similar legislation.
It gives Jamaica the opening now to follow suit and the opening, and I'd like to see that happen as quickly as possible. And we have met, and in truth and in fact, a couple of weeks ago, a team from the United States of America came to Jamaica to say that this is underway, and met with our leaders and tried to explain to them how important it would be to put in an application towards the Safe Banking Act, which Jamaica would benefit from.
The bill exempts ganja business transactions from being considered proceeds from illegal activity and subject to anti-money laundering laws. It would also prohibit banking regulators from asking banks to terminate a customer account unless there was a valid reason aside from reputation risk. In a statement this evening, the Cannabis Licensing Authority said it is hopeful that this change in posture in the USA will translate into a relaxation of the de-risking mechanisms being employed by our local banks in prohibiting the banking of funds and the lack of provision of financing for cannabis businesses. The statement went on to say that this de-risking has impacted the rate at which Jamaica's ganja industry has grown in the last 5 years. Therefore, it is hoped that with this development in the USA, the effects of our local banks will result in greater movement of funds for investment, provision for loan facilities, and ease of conducting online transactions with regards to trade in ganja. But this is just the beginning. The bill had passed the U.S. House of Representatives before in 2019, only to die in the Senate. In the meantime, the Jamaica Bankers Association has promised to comment on the development. However, up to news time, no response was received. Andrew Laidley, TVJ News.
The World Travel and Tourism Council, WTTC, revealed that the travel industry was hit 18 times harder by the COVID-19 pandemic than the financial crisis of 2008. WTTC's president and CEO said the industry employed 330 million people around the world before the pandemic shut down tourism. She announced that the pandemic has wiped out about 62 million of those jobs. Jamaica's tourism minister, Edmund Bartlett, who is physically present at the event, is scheduled to participate in a panel discussion focused on multi-destinational tourism, among other issues. We go on to currency trading. The day ended with the greenback selling for a record $154.82 against the Jamaican dollar. The Canadian dollar closed at $125.70. The pound sterling is going for $215.77, while the euro ended the day at $190.50. The JSE index gained 235 points today, while the junior market index lost 23 points. Among the winners were Cygnus Credit Investments, Consolidated Bakeries, SSL Venture Capital, Caribbean Assurance Brokers, and Jamaican Teas. On the losing side, KLE Group, Knutsford Express Services, Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, Caribbean Cream, and Epley 8.75%. And that's it for the Business Day. News from overseas when we return.